I want to start from scratch with an eye-opener. The answer leads to most of humanity problems. Because most people are dealing with money every day.
But do you know where the monies actually come from? So think about, what do you think, who decides how much money we have in total? So where does money actually come from? Do politicians decide how much money exists in the world? Or one big federal World Bank? The particular central bank of the considering state? Or all private banks, and with that also the penny bank around your corner?
Yes, questions like this aren't asked at Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. The answer is every private bank simply creates the money by giving credits. They just write down the figures of the credit. I thought back and forth how I illustrate all that perfectly graphically so that everybody understands, but yes, everything is already available. That's why I linked to beautifully shot cartoons how the slave system today works, which honestly everybody can understand. And I can totally concentrate on the graphical preparation of solutions. Money as Debt, for example, is a great animated video which describes many delusions of money in 40 minutes. Simply everyone must have dealt with money misconceptions once. You can also increase the speed over here if you watch it directly on YouTube, so it's quickly viewed. At this point, only a short excerpt.
Most of us believe that banks lend out money that has been entrusted to them by depositors. Easy to picture, but not the truth. In fact, banks create the money they loan, not from the bank's own earnings, not from the money deposited, but directly from the borrower's promise to repay. The borrower's signature on the loan papers is an obligation to pay the bank the amount of the loan plus interest, or lose the house, the car, whatever asset was pledged as collateral. That's a big commitment from the borrower. What does the same signature require of the bank? The bank gets to conjure into existence the amount of the loan and just write it into the borrower's account. Sound far-fetched? Surely that can't be true. But it is.
There's so many videos, but also literature, information events. Finally, also big newspapers write very carefully and doubtful about money creation. But the transformation is already happening. I will do another video about the peculiarity of media. In any case, I put a lot of more links in the video description and also
On the website mobilewakeup.com.
The video series Banking 101 is another very well done short explanation for those who wants to deal with the topic a little deeper. You can also put subtitles over here to see it even in Portuguese, Hebrew and more. The first and second part is dealing with the delusions, what most people think money is. As from this third part, it starts to get really interesting, what money really is and how the accounting record works. So far to the information material. You can ask more questions about it in the board and in the live stream, which will happening together with Franz. And now I come to a point which for me is very important at the beginning, because I want to talk about the credibility and the sources of my statements. Because as viewer you can say now, everybody can tell that some people did some nice little movies because they felt like it, they maybe wanted to push themselves to the fore, and this is very good if everyone questions everything and becomes self-responsible. So where did I do that questioning? Reasonable for me was getting the sources of the addressed authorities, in this case the banks and politicians. And so I want to refer to the website of the Bank of England, who describes the act of money creation simply as commercial banks making loans. Whenever a bank makes a loan, it simultaneously creates a matching deposit in the borrower's bank account, thereby creating new money. Just like that. And if you watch the other videos, you will understand that the matching deposit, or also called fiat money, is at least 99% of money. Private banks have to deposit only a very little amount at central banks. This is called reserve ratio, and in England there even isn't any. Another source, we met Finance Minister of Austria. I filmed it. We simply asked why we leave the money creation to private banks. Hear his answer.
Weil das Privatwirtschaft ist. Ich meine, hat jeder die Möglichkeit, wenn er die Konzessionen kriegt, eine Privatbank aufzumachen. Aber das ist nicht gerade einfach. Ja? Aber ich glaube, dass es trotzdem besser ist, wie wenn du lauter staatliche Banken hast. Wenn du lauter staatliche Banken hast, haben wir ja gesehen, funktioniert einfach nicht. Schau mal, in den Osten vor 20 Jahren hat das funktioniert.
He clearly admits that this is the case, but he only sees the alternative of communism. We will show you more reasonable solutions later. There's also a beautiful animation series from the Bank of England. I could really need these animators right now, but yeah, the series is shot on behalf of the Bank of England. I still found a good scene at the beginning.
So what gives banknotes a value today? This banknote promises to be worth £20, but the note itself only cost a few pence to make. So what is it that gives it that face value? In a word, trust. We trust that banknotes can be exchanged for things we want to buy. We trust that they will be accepted by others for their face value. In effect, we trust the promise that this note is worth £20.
So we only trust on a promise. And then they describe how important trust is and complicate things unnecessarily. This was okay in the old system, but we don't need any trust anymore in a world of make-believe when it is possible to create something better.